Welcome to Believers Talk again today. Wanted to go earlier, had to cut that video short. So I wanted to get back on here, see who else was on here. Want to talk about Buffalo Bills training camp. Like I said, a lot of news. So Josh Allen has signed his 4-year rookie contract. I did not see any details yet as far as what the contract is, and we can probably guess about what it is. Baker Mayfield signed about 2 days ago, and so now with the signing of Josh Allen, he's able to participate fully in training camp. So that's kind of exciting to see. Let me see if there's any updates on that. But while we talk about that too, another really great thing is Jim Kelly is cancer free. So that news came about 2-3 days ago. So that's awesome news. Hopefully this time hey Fox 87. Hopefully this time it stays that way. He's had 3 times now, so hopefully third time's a charm. He beats it. It stays away. I mean, we're so happy for Jim Kelly. We know the ballet's gone through. I mean, most of you, if not all of you, saw the Jimmy V award given out at the ESPYs. So that was amazing. That was really cool. But again, Josh Allen has signed with the Buffalo Bills, his 4-year contract. Fox 87 asks, how did Allen look? From what we hear, it was good and bad. He ended apparently on a bad note, overthrowing some passes. Now, he did not participate at all on the first team. He was strictly on the third team. But it was weird because they said Kelvin Benjamin was on the third team, and they kept mixing up wide receivers. So it sounds like he was able to play with all the receivers, like throw to him and things like that. So we'll see. But yeah, you had Nathan Peterman and AJ McCarron splitting time, the first and second string, and then you had Josh Allen sticking with the third string. But the way they kept changing every other position, I'm not sure what exactly that looked like. But who knows? We'll see what happens. Training camp goes all the way to August 15th. Hey, Eagles01, how you doing? Eagles fans are always welcome here. It was a little sad to see another team off the never won Super Bowl list, and our name's still on there. But congratulations to you and your Eagles as they start training camp today as well, I believe, today. So I don't know. What did you think about the Eagles training camp here? Anything? The Bills did sign. They signed 2 players. They signed 2 players. They signed Keenan Robinson a few days ago, linebacker, and that gave us our 90-man roster. And it was weird because your 90-man roster is full. So today we signed Joe's defensive tackle, and I did not see or hear who we dropped for that to happen. So I believe that since we signed John Hughes, we had to drop somebody. But then again, Zay Jones is on the injured list, so maybe that has something to do with being able to sign John Hughes. I'm not sure. We also had running back Orleans Darkwa in for some work. He's one of the top running backs remaining on the board. Does this have anything to do with the McCoy situation? I personally don't think so. I think that's something completely separate. I think they just want to bring Orleans Darkwa in because he is one of the better running backs left as far as free agents go. As far as McCoy is concerned, he was at training camp. He was seen talking to Kim Pegula. So that, and he even said when they interviewed him, he said that management's been behind him 100%, which is awesome to see and hear. Again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. If involvement in what happened, I don't want him playing for the Bills. I really don't. There's no room for domestic violence in sports. There's no room for domestic violence in life. Just get that out of the game completely, if you ask me. But we'll see. I mean, right now there's really no evidence pointing that he had any involvement other than the fact that hearsay from his girlfriend. Like, that's it. The robber went and stole some jewelry. Okay, McCoy probably gave her some expensive jewelry. I mean, you could do that, right? If you go to rob someone, that they're in a relationship or were in a relationship with McCoy, just straight up probably ask, hey, where's the jewelry McCoy gave you, right? Because it's probably some expensive stuff that he gave you. But that, again, that's all hearsay at this point. I don't want to really get into that. Right now, we know McCoy's there. Right now, he's not answering any questions about it, which is probably smart. His attorneys probably told him to do that. But he was seen signing autographs after practice, so he didn't mind down for his fans, which is always good to see. And then, like I said, he was seen talking to Kim Pegula, who was at training camp as well. And that's kind of good to see, too, because Kim Pegula has taken a role as president. Or was it GM? I forget, but she's taking that role on, so it's good to see her there the first day of training camp, because you had Bean there and McDermott there, and so it's good to see her there as well. Just taking it all in. I wonder if Terry Pegula was there. I didn't hear anything about him being there, but we'll see. But yeah, so Josh Allen had an up and down day. Some really good looking balls. They said I saw a comment that said every time Josh Allen completed a pass, everyone started cheering. And so that was good to hear. And then Steve's here, not here physically now. Steve's he's just busy right now. He has a lot going on. I'll let him talk more about that next time he gets on here. He'll be back. I told him that he could take July off, and I'll try to hold down fort. And we did the position breakdown. We wanted to get the position breakdowns out in July, and so I did kind of on my own there. Hopefully they turned out all right. I'm not sure if that's exactly what Steve wanted, but that's what we did. And so now we'll still be in contact, and when he gets a free moment, he'll be back on here talking more Buffalo Bills. We do plan on putting a prediction video out there. We have some other planned videos that we plan to get out there. We will be doing recap and analysis on every single game, even hopefully the preseason games as well, just so we can get more analysis in there. And then we'll talk about position battles. Obviously each week we think each quarterback will probably get a chance to start, or at least get a good chunk of playing time from the preseason to show what they got. But Steve will be back, and I look forward to him being back because he has a lot of knowledge that I personally don't have on not just the Bills, just football in general. And so it's really good to kind of bounce off ideas off each other and do stuff like that. So I look forward to him being back. I do agree with you, Eagles 01. We do need to give A.J. McCarron a chance. In my previous live stream from earlier today, I did say, even though I want Josh Allen to start right away because he was our, 7th overall pick, I do also believe we deserve to give A.J. McCarron a chance. We traded, or we signed him in free agency for a reason, so we should try to give him a chance. My biggest concern in that is that we we'll have a short lease on him, and I don't want that, because you already hear in minicamp that Nate Peterman was doing better than A.J. McCarron. Which is fine. If Nate Peterman's the best of the three, throw in Nate Peterman. But whoever we throw in, I want to make sure that the coaches are 100% behind him. He doesn't have to worry if he throws an interception or two in one game that they're just going to automatically pull him out. Say we have confidence in you in this game. No matter what you do in this game, you can't mess it up. Even that to me is a little like, wow, you're weak. I want our starter to be named, confirmed, and ready to go week 1, and not have to worry about the guy behind him completely. How did AJ do in camp today? From what we hear, him and Nathan Peterman split time with 1s and 2s. Didn't really hear anything about how he did. All eyes were pretty much on Josh Allen as day 1 started. But we do have camp will be going on from now until August 15th. Today's Thursday. They'll be doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then I think they have Monday and Tuesday before they start again on Wednesday. So we'll be interested to see these next 4 days how things kind of adapt and mold together. We did see Dabble obviously putting in his playbook. We saw a couple plays that looked exactly like the plays they ran during the national championship game. So, you can already see Daboll's putting his fingerprint on the team. I'm going to check to see if there's any other updates What's going on? My chat just stopped. I don't know what happened. So I hope you're still with us. I'm still with us, but I don't know what happened to my chat here. Unfortunately, I'm new to this whole live streaming thing, so we'll see what happened. There we go. I got back. I do think Nate Peterman make the team. I think a lot of people's reaction to Nathan Peterman is based off of his game against San Diego, which Steve and I have both talked about at great length about how that's kind of Los Angeles Chargers, sorry, not San Diego Chargers anymore, how that's kind of unfair. I think Coach McDermott made that move more as a wake-up call to Tyrod Taylor, and not as much what's best for Nathan Peterman to some degree. He gave him a chance, and that's all a quarterback can ask for is a chance. But I do think we're gonna have 3 starting quarterbacks start the season, and I don't know who else would be there, because right now they're the only 3 guys on our roster. But from what everyone, again, from what we heard in minicamp, he's actually doing better. Jim Karen. I know some say he had like that deer in the headlights type look. Well, you know what? Practicing with the first string guys and knowing that you're going to start before more than a week beforehand might give you that little bit of confidence. Might give you more of a little bit of a presence in the huddle. I don't know. And Kelvin Benjamin staying healthy. You know, if you look back at that LA Chargers game, Kelvin Benjamin went down on the first series, and 15 of the 20 plays reportedly were aimed to go to Kelvin Benjamin. And you would think that's true. You figure you put a rookie in for the first time, you want to get as many opportunities to throw the ball up to your stud receiver, or the closest thing to a stud that the Bills have. Get him involved first, get that connection going, and then that first interception really. I mean, it was high, but does DeMarco have to tip it up like that and make it like easy pickings? Probably not. And what does that do to his confidence? So I think it was all like a snowball effect from then on. I think he came in the Colts game and actually did a decent job for the type of game it was. You know, 3 feet of snow. I think he only completed 50% of passes, but in those type of conditions, you can't really ask for much more. Had a touchdown pass to Kelvin Benjamin late in the first half. And so before he got knocked out of the game, I thought he did a really good job there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I do think that Nathan Peterman will make the team. Again, I think AJ McCarron will be our starter. Again, I want Josh Allen to be our starter. It's not that I don't like Nathan Peterman. I don't believe in Nathan Peterman. And if they think he's the best guy for the job, then I say go for it. But from what we saw from him last year, yeah, it's not indicative of winning. And if you're going to start with a guy like Nathan Peterman, why don't you just start Josh Allen, right? Because you picked up Nathan Peterman last year. I mean, like, granted, I would be very happy if Nathan Peterman came out to be this huge success. But then what do we do with Josh Allen? We drafted him 7th overall. There's no way that much back for Josh Allen if he's not a proven quarterback. So I don't know. We'll see. But I do think all 3 quarterbacks will make the team. And that's pretty much where we'll see where we go from there. I mean, again, training camp's still in the infancy stages, so we'll see what happens. Covered Orleans Darkwa, running back. We're working him out, so we'll see if we sign him. Josh Allen signed his 4-year rookie contract. That's great, Bills fan, because again, now he can do everything in training camp. There's no setbacks or anything of that nature that we have to worry about. He has his contract, so we're good there. We signed Keenan Robinson 2-3 days ago, and we signed Josh Hughes just today. So that's pretty much the big news. And of course, the biggest news, as I talked about, Jim Kelly is cancer-free. So that's what I want to talk about. Just wanted to get on here real quick, say day 1 training camp's over. We will be back. Any news that breaks during training camp, any more of these signings, releases, this is actually a busy time for that kind of stuff, because other teams will be dropping players, adding players left and right. And so we'll be back on here, even if it's a small sign like a John Hughes or something of that nature. We're going to give it to you, every single one of them. So you'll see it or hear it here on Believers Talk. The money in Josh Allen's contract has not been made official. At least not. I haven't seen it. If someone else has seen it, let me know. But I've been looking even as the live stream has been going on, and I haven't seen anything that has said what Josh Allen's numbers are. I'm going to Google it now because Google knows everything. I just don't think it knows this. It told me the other day that I looked up best available running backs after we heard about the McCoy situation, and it looked up just best free agents from last year. And so I got Kirk Cousins number 1 overall, and I was like, I don't think Kirk Cousins is a running back. I still don't. Yeah, no, this article, the top article on here doesn't go over, and it's on Buffalobills.com, does not go over what the money is, although it does say, and we mentioned this before too, that with the signing of Josh Allen, we have now signed everyone of the 2018 draft class. So that's always good to do. But that's pretty much it. And we'll come on here to update you with the contract information. I'll even talk to Steve. Maybe Steve can get on here as well, because he's really good with the salary breakdown, what's due to the salary cap, because we all close those cap numbers already. So maybe that's what took so long. Maybe we're lowering his numbers this year and making them better next year, because we all know next year we have a lot of money to spend on salary cap. Looking forward to next year, because we'll be able to sign some more players and see what we can do from there. Because right now, let's be honest, guys, we don't have too many star players, right? We're hoping Josh Allen turns into a star. We hope that we keep LeSean McCoy and he's not suspended for a few games. We have Kelvin Benjamin, who you can say he didn't have a star performance last year, whether you want to blame injury, quarterback play, whatever it might be. And then on the defense side of the ball, you got hopefully Tremaine Edmonds, you got hopefully Harrison Phillips, and you got Trey White. Maybe some other guys you can throw in there too. Poyer had a good year, Hyde had a good year, and then we have Vontae Davis. So, man, that defense, like as I say these names, as I think of who's on our defense, if Jerry Hughes can go back to 2013, 2014, man, our defense is going to be good. If Shaq Lawson can stay healthy and be the kind of impact player he was set out to be when we first drafted him, man, guys, we're going to have a really good defense. I'm confident in saying top 10. I'm iffy on top 5, but maybe even top 5. I'm not sure. But that's what we wanted to get on here to talk about today. Training camp, day 1 in the books. Very exciting. We're like 45 days away, somewhere between 45 and 47 days away from opening kickoff for the Buffalo Bills season. We will be on Believers Talk covering it all for you. So have a great night. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't already subscribe to this channel. Like or dislike this video. We'll talk some more. SLC Seahawk, how are you doing, man? I was just going to get off here, but how you doing, man? Good to see you. We're just talking training camp. I saw that you were watching the Seahawks live stream of the training camp. I don't know if the Bills had a live stream of their training camp, but it was good to see. Anthony, how you doing? We're getting some people in here. Maybe we'll stay on for a little bit. But yeah, if you haven't already subscribed, Anthony, thank you very much. We hope that we're getting the good information out to you constantly. Don't apologize for being late, SLC Seahawk. We haven't been on for too long. Like I said, I just wanted to get on here quick, kind of talk about something. SLC, I don't know if you heard this or not, but Jim Kelly's cancer-free. We talked about that. So we're very excited about that news. That's pretty much made my day. That was broke yesterday, but just to I'll say it all day. It's pretty awesome. We all saw him accept the Jimmy B Award during the ESPYs, so it was really cool to see. Anthony, keep those notifications on. Everyone, if you're listening right now, keep notifications on. And I'll be going live a little bit more here and there. Yeah, I'll be going live more, especially during training camp, because like I said, there's so much going on. I might come on here for 5-10 minutes just to kind of break down some moves we made, whether it be signings or releasing some players or finding out what happened to Zay Jones, who's currently on the I want to say PUP list. I don't think he's on PUP list, but he's on some sort of injury list, non-football injury list. And then that's pretty much it. Are we still thinking the Bills are going to pick up a wide receiver free agency? Well, we did see that there was a report out there that Dez does not want to sign with the Bills because he wants to sign with the contender. So that's kind of a slap in the face. But I don't know. I don't think so at this time. because unless Zay Jones's injury is more serious than people are making it out to be, and it's possibly a season-ending injury. I don't see us signing another wide receiver this year. Next year, we have so much more cap space. I think that that will open up some more opportunities to sign some more wide receivers. Although I do hear inklings about maybe we'll get in the Le'Veon Bell sweepstakes. McCoy is getting up there in age. I don't know how I feel about the Le'Veon Bell thing. I think that's kind of a long shot, but it's fun to think about. You can always speculate here and there. It's always fun to speculate, right, guys? So I haven't really looked as far as next year what wide receivers would be available. I know Julio Jones said he was not, or there was reports Julio Jones was not going to show up to training camp, but he showed up. So it looks like everything's working out okay there. I don't know who all is going to be available next year to say, hey, let's go get this guy. It's possible we draft a wide receiver too next year. So we'll see what happens there. But I don't see us signing one this year. Tomorrow we'll sign one to make me look like an idiot, which is fine. I mean, it's not the first time that's happened. But yeah, we'll see what happened. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Anquan Boldin. I kind of laughed that we made the playoffs last year when, it was quite obvious towards when he went to sign with the Patriots. Like, that's the reason why he left the Bills, because he wants to be a good humanitarian and stuff like that. And at first it sounds great and it looks great on paper, but then he goes and says, yeah, let's maybe let me sign with the Patriots, take me off this retired list or whatever. And I want to sign with the Patriots. Like, no, I was happy to see that, that we did that. But this year, to be honest with you, if we sign anyone else, I would love to see us get some more offensive linemen. Just to see how the offensive linemen do, because right now it's kind of like a hodgepodge. Who are we going to have in there? When you lose 3 starting offensive linemen, it makes it tough. I mean, you're finding out how really tough it is. I'm not gonna sit here and say that our offensive line can't be good. When we've seen a makeshift offensive line come together. Hey, UCF Jaguar, how you doing? Good to see you on my channel. I saw a couple of your videos. It looked like you had a lot of fun recently in Jacksonville and Duval, I think you guys call it. So. It looked like a lot of fun. I'm glad that you got to have that experience. That seemed like almost like a once-in-a-lifetime type thing. What week do I predict Josh Allen to start? See, everyone keeps asking that. I don't know why. You guys keep asking me. So here's the thing. I've said this in this video. I personally want Josh Allen to be our week 1 starter. Just because, well, especially McCoy's not there. If McCoy's not there, I especially want Josh Allen to be our week 1 starter just to give him that experience. But I do think A.J. McCarron's going to get the start. So I don't know. It all depends. If we lose, week 1's a very important game against Baltimore. If we lose to Baltimore in Baltimore, I think that leaves the rest of the season up for debate as far as how well we're going to do it all. I could see USA Today being right, possibly 13. It makes me sick saying that, but you look at our schedule. It is not an easy schedule, but no one in the NFL has an easy schedule. We have no idea what's going to happen. Aaron Rodgers could get hurt again, and then all of a sudden week 4 against Green Bay, we're not looking that bad, right? So I think A.J. McCarron is going to start. I don't know if Josh Allen sees the field this year. I mean, I think A.J. McCarron can be good enough to keep the starting job. Will he? If Josh Allen's going to start and he doesn't start week 1, I think the Jaguars is a perfect place to start him, and that would make me excited because I'm going to that game. So I would love to see that. Be there for Josh Allen's first start, but that's what I think week 12, right? UCF. I think we play you guys week 12. But yeah, we do have a legit three QB competition. I mean, anyone can win this QB job. I think anybody. I don't think it's easy, but I did say in my last video, I think it was my running back video or something like that. But you can obviously tell McDermott is a defensive-minded coach just by in 2 years now, our defense is looking really good, and we don't even know who our quarterback is, which is sad to say, but it's a quarterback-driven league, so So when you have a guy like Tyrod Taylor, listen, no, we could debate if Tyrod Taylor was our starting quarterback or not, like if he should have been or shouldn't have been talked about, not talked like forever. So we're not going to talk about that again. But I think that we saw the best out of Tyrod, like the best Tyrod could do. The best Tyrod's going to ever be is a wild card team quarterback, which isn't bad. I mean, we saw Flacco. Gosh, Flacco could make it to wild card and as a playoff team, and then all of a sudden he's just unbeatable in the playoffs. You know, Eli Manning's done that a couple of times. But yeah, I really don't know between of his experience. And Josh Allen, you know, it's funny as Bills fans, we talk about a guy and then all of a sudden we draft him and we're like the biggest fans, and that's okay. I think every fan base should be that way. I really want Josh Allen to do well, but before we draft him, how much of a project he would be, and how we didn't want to draft him because all he had was a strong arm and a little mobility. You know, and everyone was talking about how bad his accuracy was. So maybe we better start AJ McCarron from that aspect as well. At the end of my last stream, I was talking about, you know, what would be a success for the Bills in my mind. You know, I've been thinking about that a lot past couple weeks about like, because they came out and said we'd be 3-13, which obviously would be not a success. But you talk about the change from last year to this year, about how much change the Bills had in a year. To think that they would make the playoffs again would kind of be crazy, right? If you're a Bills fan, obviously you hope for that and you want that. You can see it happening and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I don't know if that's a realistic goal. SLC, you always talk about how you're doing your unbiased talk and your and if you are a fan of the NFL, UCF Jaguar, SLC Seahawk, both great channels. The SLC Seahawk obviously the Seahawks, UCF Jaguar obviously the Jaguars. You know, UCF and I had a lot of fun last year as we were getting ready to play in the playoff game. We'll have some more fun this year, getting ready for Week 11. UCF said something about us doing some sort of dual like channel show or whatever, which I'm more than happy to do. Steve and I will be more than happy to do that with you as we can do that as we get game. We don't play the Seahawks this year, so maybe soon SLC Seahawk and us can get a thought going, but get the thing going. But I don't think you want to talk to me about last time the Seahawks played the Bills, because I'll just go off about how our kicker got nailed and there was no penalty and stuff like that. So we won't go there, right? But yeah, they're both great channels. So subscribe to them as well. Subscribe to me or this channel if you haven't already. But right here on Believers Talk, we're going to go through every single one of them just so you have them covered. Again, some of them might just be a quick, hey, we released this guy, signed this guy, boom, we have it out there. A lot of these guys we're not going to have a lot of information on, so you'll kind of have to bear with us as we say we know nothing about this guy other than what we see in training camp. But we'll see. It all depends on who other teams drop as well, because we all know that. Hey, anytime SLC, anytime, man. But yeah, we all know that some teams are deep in some positions, and like for example, we got Chris Ivory. Why? Because the Jaguars didn't need to re-sign Chris Ivory because they have Fournette and Yeldon, and you know they did great last year. So we got Chris Ivory, who I believe a productive back. Weren't UCF, if you're still in, weren't both Yeldon and Ivory free agents this year, and you kind of had to pick one or the other. You went with Yeldon, probably the better of the two, and he did more with the opportunities he was given. So I think that was probably the smarter choice. But they kind of had that choice between the two of them, and they went to Yeldon. So we got Ivory, and then that's going to happen throughout the training camp as well. You're going to see deep in one position, drop a guy that another team can use, and we might be able to do that. So, okay, Yeldon has 1 year left on his rookie deal. Yes, Ivory does have fumbling problems, so we hope that doesn't continue. The good news is McCoy normally doesn't have fumbling problems, although he did have very crucial fumble against Tampa Bay last year, but lucky for us, our defense bailed us out, and we got that. Yeah. So there are some teams that are really good offensive line. Let's say like the Dallas Cowboys, for instance, really good offensive line. Let's say they have too much depth at right tackle or left tackle. Probably right tackle, left tackle's okay, I think. But anyway, they drop one of their guys, and we pick them up and say, hey, your sixth man's better than our starter, which looks bad for the guy who's starting for the Bills, but we got to do what we got to do, so we'll do it that way. Man, you guys do this all the time. This is crazy. But anyway, so again, if you're just joining, the Bills did work out running back Orleans Darkwa. Probably one of the top running back prospects out there. We have been trying out a few running back prospects. I don't think it's due to the McCoy situation, but you never know. And with the McCoy situation that is up in the air, you obviously want to have a backup plan. It stinks that our backup plan for LeSean McCoy is Orleans Darkwa. There's a little bit of a drop off there, but there's not much we can do about that. And then we signed, I just read some comments, I'll get to those in a second. Josh Allen signed his rookie contract. We signed linebacker Keenan Robinson, and we signed today John Hughes, defensive tackle. So those are the big news for the Bills. Everyone keeps asking me for a prediction for the Bills. So I haven't really, again, Steve and I will do a prediction show close to the season. And obviously training camp, who knows what's going to happen, preseason, you never know. I mean, we don't even know who our storm quarterback is. So who are we to predict our record? I always try to imagine the worst case scenario for every team, but for the Bills in this instance, and the best case scenario. As I've looked over the schedule time and time again, I could see us worst case scenario finishing 4-12. And best case scenario, I can see us finishing 11-5. So you can't average that out. You get 15 times 2, whatever, or divide by 2. I don't know math all that well, but you get somewhere between 7.5, or you get 7.5. So 7-9, 8-8, which is pretty much what a lot of people are saying. Anthony, you picked 8-8. So if I was in Vegas, I would actually put our over/under at 7.5, which I believe Vegas puts it at under than that. So if you're a Bills fan, if you're a betting man, bet the over. I just think we started, I think, home last year. Like, I think at home we're really good, and I think Sean McDermott proved last year. I think that he's a good coach, and defense wins championships. We have a really solid defense, I think. So I think that will really help us out. But UCF, take care, buddy. SLC, good to see you too. I'm not sure which one, if you're both leaving, but so yeah, I'll say 7-9 during our prediction show. That might change, but I think week 1 against Baltimore is very key for the Buffalo Bills success. If we lose week 1 to Baltimore is a team that we should be able to beat if we want to have a successful season. You're talking about week 1 against Baltimore, week 2 against LA, which, as I said, we're very lucky to get LA week 2. The Chargers are notoriously a bad starting team and notoriously bad coming west to east. There's a lot of West Coast teams that are bad coming east, and they do play in Buffalo, so that might be an advantage to us. Who knows? We start 0-1. If we start 0-2, then you might as well figure out what's a good season in your mind from that point without making the playoffs, because Minnesota, Green Bay, we'll be lucky to win one of those at all. But I did say in the last live stream, the Bills have kind of surprised people with some of the wins that they've had, beating Atlanta last year early in the season, beating both Arizona and New England without Tom Brady the season before that. We kind of surprised some people, and even though Minnesota and Green Bay are away, Minnesota does play Green Bay week 2. So if that's like a hard smash mouth football game where they get the win, then I think that we can kind of maybe sneak in and sneak out with a win there in Minnesota. And this is the NFL. That's why they play the game, right, guys? So, but yeah, 7-9. I think without really digging too deep into it is a fair prediction. But we'll see. Like I said, I could see us see us finishing 4-12, which would be awful. But we'll get a good draft pick. If you want to be happy about it. I'm not a fan of thinking about good draft picks this early in the season. But maybe I know SLC Seahawk. I know you're not looking like this season's looking too optimistic for you. So I know you might be thinking that same way too. But it's just way too early in the season to be thinking like that. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Yeah, UCF Jaguar, go edit your video, and then we look forward to checking that as soon as you post it. So we have not established a kickoff return man yet, punt return guy yet. I'm sure if you were at training camp, you might have seen who they had back there. If you watch my wide receiver and running back breakdowns, there are a couple guys on a roster that can potentially be our guy. And I do actually in our wide receiver breakdown say that I think it's between Quinn Bray and I forget his first name. I know his last name's Clay. I have it here actually. Quinn Bray or Kalen Clay. I think those two are actually fighting for roster spot, and whoever wins that roster spot is going to be our kickoff return guy. I believe that one of those guys will be our sixth wide receiver on the depth chart, and then he will also act as our kick returner. I'm not sure if our kick returner and punt returner will be the same guy or not, but that's what I think is going to happen. But we'll see. I do know that we do have a couple running backs. Javarius Cadet, I think, has played special teams before. Taiwan Jones has played special teams. So it's really, I think, up in the air right now. But Ray Ray did play special teams in Clemson. I did make mention of that. But we have so many rookies right now in our wide receiver depth chart. Because let's see here, Quinn Bray, Robert Foster, Malachi Dupree isn't a rookie, but last year was a rookie year and he didn't get any playing time. So Malachi Dupree is on there. Ray McLeod's on there. Austin Prohl. Austin Prohl is a great answer for that too. I think Austin Prohl might just be looking to make a team. His dad was the Rams wide receiver during the Greatest Show on Turf. Kind of was their slot guy. Got no credit because he's playing with Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce, but he did better than what people remember him for because he was the slot guy and to be honest, it was the one guy who wasn't double covered, right? You have Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, that guy's gonna be open. So he was a great slot receiver, and we might find a diamond in the rough in Austin Prohl. You never know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But that's all I wanted to get on here to talk about. My throat's getting hoarse, so I'm gonna get better training. As I get ready to do this. We do plan on having more live streams, and come regular season, guys, my plan is to have a live play-by-play while the game's going on. I do that not for all the games, but for a lot of them, and depending how popular they become, maybe I'll do more and more. So just how else can you support? You can share this video with your friends. You can like the video, subscribe. That's how you support this channel, guys. We're here for you. We're not here for any other reasons, just to kind of give you up-to-date news on Buffalo Bills, everything Bills related. We right here on Bleav Talk. So again, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, like this channel, share this video, turn on your notifications, and we look forward to seeing you soon. But till next time, go Bills.